Following World War II, nuclear engineering programs proliferated at universities across the country, including the University of Washington. By 1958, the University of Washington granted its first master's degree in the field. Retaining a competitive nuclear engineering program, however, required construction of a research reactor.
The nuclear reactor building was built in 1961 during the height of the atomic age. Nuclear energy and doing research was really important then. And the idea with the walls of glass on the exterior is you could look in from the outside, you could see researchers and scientists working and doing their thing.
University of Washington officials turned to the architect-artist group known as TAG to design a building to house the new reactor. Despite a policy that discouraged hiring university employees for campus design projects, every member of the group, save one, was a University of Washington professor at the time.
This design is important. The style is called brutalist or brutalism, which is a very sort of honest type of style of architecture. It's concrete and steel. The building was designed by what was called TAG, and it was a collaboration of architects, artists, and engineering. So they really melded science, art, and architecture in this building.
In the fall of 2014, the university unveiled plans to construct a new computer science and engineering building on the site, which would require demolition of the nuclear reactor building.
A group of preservation advocates submitted a nomination in 2008 to the most endangered list because back then the University of Washington had planned to tear it down. They didn't have plans for the site at the time, but a group of us joined forces to stop the demolition, and last year we found out that the nuclear reactor building is endangered again. Now with the university wanting to expand their computer science and engineering program, their preferred site is where the nuclear reactor building is.
University officials are moving forward to prepare an environmental impact statement for the proposed project, but to date have not considered the building's inclusion in the National Register of Historic Places a significant factor.
They recently issued what's called a EIS scoping notice. We'd like them to look at a preservation alternative and to add that into their EIS scope.
Advocates would like to see additional sites more thoroughly studied for construction of the new building. If no other sites can be found, the nuclear reactor building should, at the very least, be incorporated into the new development in a way that respects its unique architecture and historic significance.
We believe it's very significant, and since the last time the property was nominated for Most Endangered, it has been listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It's hard to believe that a brutalist building would give warm and fuzzy feelings for people, but it's amazing how this building has spurred on advocacy efforts that have been really creative and artistic. Back in 2008, a group of students covered the building with red balloons, and it was an art installation and drew lots of people. And then most recently, a group of us got together and we made homemade valentines and we heart bombed the building. And we really hope to bring more awareness to the issues now and its endangerment. Best case scenario would be if the building was adaptively reused, maybe a cafe or maybe a gallery space, but also knowing how important the computer science and engineering program is, we think that a really creative design team can come up with a solution to somehow incorporate the nuclear reactor building into their project.